All right, now we are on Parshat Koracht, and it always comes near to the date of Gimel Tammuz, and all of them, which is when Joshua made the sun stand still, and the sun and the moon actually made the whole solar system stand still for one day. And 3,300 whatever years later, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, he got out of prison, miraculously communist prison. And this all occurs shortly before or during or after, immediately after the Parsha of Koracht. So let's understand what is this. So they're all connected. Everything in the world is connected, especially things in the Torah, which the whole purpose of the Torah, the word Torah means teaching, hora'ah. So obviously the Torah is teaching us something very important here. Koracht made a rebellion. So the Rebbe asked the question, why is the whole portion, this whole section of the Torah called Koracht? Koracht was a bad person. You're not supposed to mention the name of bad people, especially not to make it eternal by calling a whole section of the Torah by Koracht. So the Rebbe says, let's see what's going on. What did Koracht, what did he really think? So, we're now on Hay. No, we did Hay. Koracht he learned from creation. He learned from God. When God created the world, on the second day of creation, he made a division between the upper waters and the lower waters. Koracht said, if it's good enough for God, it's good enough for me. I'm going to make a division. The upper worlds are going to be upper, the lower worlds are going to be lower. And that's the way the world is going to be. You don't have to try to unify God. You don't have to try to bring the upper worlds down here and to make the lower worlds holy. Said Koracht, the word Koracht means to divide. I'm going to do what God did on the second day of creation. I am going to make a division. The holy people will be holy, the regular people will be regular, and we're not demanding from the holy people to go down and deal with the regular people, and we're not demanding from the regular people to go up and be holy. Everybody will be according to their nature. What's wrong with that? That's pretty good. Everybody is holy as they are. God made everybody. So just let everybody do what they're doing. Let's everybody do their thing.
So now there's this idea that he's, as in the second day, creating a separation. The people that are holy, and people not.
He wanted to mimic God.
But before we were talking about how we're all holy. Yeah. So like I'm a little confused.
Yeah, he kept saying, "Oh, we're all equal," but now he's saying, "Oh, yeah." It's like communism. Now that I think
something a little bit. What Koracht wanted to do is saying everybody is equal. What do you mean? The way they are, that's the way they should stay. We're all equal. We're all created by God. God created everyone. And everyone, the way they're created, that's the way they should stay. What do you want? You want to prove?
that's not equal.
Huh?
That's not equal. That's a contradiction.
No, but everyone is equal in the fact that they are all different. That's one thing that makes everybody equal. For instance, all the players that are in an orchestra, there's 110 pieces in an orchestra. Each one of them is different. But they're all exactly the same in that they're all in this New York Philharmonic Orchestra. They're all playing songs of Brahms or Mahler or whatever they're playing. So in that, they're all equal. Equal doesn't mean that they have to be similar.
They all, he was saying that they really basically were all qualified to bring the incense, weren't they? Well, it wasn't like one guy had like one note on one instrument, and one guy's the lead violinist.
They wanted to say all of the holy people should be holy. They're all equally holy. All the regular people, they're equally regular. You don't have to demand from them to be holy and special. So he said, okay, bring the leaders of all the tribes, all these people you say are holy, and let's see really if there's differences in holiness or not. You bring your fire trays. Not everybody brought fire trays. You bring yours. Aaron will bring his. Let's see who God favors. Right? You bring your staffs. I'll bring my staff. Let's see who God favors. If you fellas are right, then everyone's equal.
Yeah.
It's like in America. All men are created equal. What do you mean they're all created equal? I mean, that's ridiculous. All men are not created equal. Everybody's a different fingerprints, Everyone, there's different races, there's different IQs, there's different families. Everyone is in a different place, right? But equal rights. Everyone, right? Equal rights, yes. But okay, so it's like in America, you want to say everyone should be president of the United States. So they say, you're right, you got a good point, but we can't make everybody president of the United States, so let's make everybody vote. And then we'll go according to the majority. What do you say about that? That's something like everyone is president. Right? Everyone has their... Huh? A pick, your pick. I mean, really, America is really a republic. A republic means... A republic is basically the same thing as a democracy, but it's totally different. A democracy is that the people decide everything. A republic is that the people, they choose representatives, that they think these representatives are really going to be, they're people of conscience and how do you say, ikronot, that they have their principles, men of principle, right? Men of earnestness and ability. And they vote, and these people, the people they represent but essentially everybody is equal. There are just some people that are a little more talented. Okay, good. That's something like what Koracht was saying. We can't have a person, Moshe and Aaron, they're in it for life. They're totally different for life. It's not that they're elected and they can be unelected.
So are you trying to say that Koracht was pushing a meritocracy as opposed to Moshe who's doing what God tells him?
If you want to say Moshe is like the, what do they call it? A theocracy. Oh, you want to call it that? That God is ruling. Or a monarchy. Oh, monarchy.
By divine providence.
Huh?
He's ruling by divine providence.
Right.
God gave him license to rule. As opposed to
right.
meritocracy, which is like the democracy of this right.
Moshe wants to claim not that God gave him, not just that God gave him the right.
It's like between so Koracht is like the religious Zionist that they were always talking about?
Sort of. In other words, it's the basic idea of Mashiach. King. The Mashiach is called the king. Can there be such a thing as the king in Israel? Right? Is there such a thing as a king? David was a king. He had all sorts of enemies because they couldn't stand the idea that he was a king. Moshe was a king. Moshe was a king. Right? What do you mean he was a king? Not that he was inspired by God. His words were God's words. What he said, that's what God was saying. God was speaking through him. So everybody said, what type of a thing is that? It's like the difference between the Holy Temple and the Empire State Building.
Is it God's translator?
God's translator, God's speaker.
And also, Aaron was...
It says Moshe Daber v'Hashem Yanenu B'Kol, that on Mount Sinai the Jewish people couldn't bear listening to the Ten Commandments. They heard only the first two. So Moshe opened up his mouth and God spoke through his mouth.
And Aaron was chosen by Hashem to be...
Same thing, yes, that's right.
So Koracht, his point of view is...
No essential differences. Human beings are all the same.
We're going to do it the way we want to do it. We have every right to do it, and we're all equal.
Yeah, everyone does it the way they want, right? We'll have certain guidelines. There'll be certain guidelines. People will do it. Of course, there are people that are better fit to be leaders. They can be the leaders. But don't say that there's a human being that's essentially a different type of human being, right? There's a certain type of a human being that he is a king. He represents God's kingship in the world. There's a certain type of a person. He is the high priest. He represents God's goodness in the world. God's blessing in the world. That they couldn't take. So they said, we're going to make a division. What does it mean? The Rebbe will talk about it more. Ma yata vav. Ma yata tanato shel Koracht. What exactly was the claim of Koracht? Nitan la'avin zot. We could understand this. Opi dugma tarakia amav dilatzmo. What exactly is this firmament that God made on the second day of creation that divided between the upper waters and the lower waters that Koracht was trying to imitate? Vav. See, we're over here. Where is it? Here. Vav. Siba lakach. The reason for this, Shiyom Sheni, that the second day of creation, Ein Nemar, it doesn't say Ki Tov, that it was good. On all the other days of creation, it says Vayara Lakim, it's called Asher Asa, Tov Mod, Vayara Ta'or Ki Tov. Every day it says God saw what he did and it was good. It was good. The second day, it doesn't say Ki Tov. Why not? Kadiver or Chazal, like the rabbis say, Ki bo nivra machlokas. Because on this day there was created arguments, dissension. A machloket veha mechitza bein mayim elyonim lo mayim tachtonim. It was a division between the upper water and the lower water. Limrot, what the upper water says means spiritual pleasures, lower water means physical pleasures. That's one way of looking at it. Limrot zod, nevertheless, biyom shlishi, on the third day, huchpal kito. It says twice, on the third day of creation, if you look, it says God saw what he did, it was good. And then it says another time that it was good. Twice. Echad lamalachat hamayim, one that he did for the water, because he made all the waters come together, it says. Ve'echad lamalachto shel yom, and also because of the work of the day. Ki az, then biyom shlishi, nidbarara v'nizkaka amechitza. There was refined and, what is it, clarified, this division that was made on the second day. It was the second day of creation, God made a division, let's say it was like iron. On the third day, God clarified it, that he made it like glass and made openings in it, so that the upper waters and the lower waters could converge a little bit. Mikach moving, so we understand. She'amnam tzoricha liot mechitza. What God did on the second day, it was necessary. There had to be a division between the upper waters and the lower. Mishum kach bora kodesh baruch hu d'rakia. That's why God made this separation that divided. But hatov, the good, was not on the second day. The second day, the division was only a means. The end, the good, was a tachlit, a shlemut of this division. Hu davka kasher limrotev dalatam. Even though there was divided into two types of water, upper and lower, there is a connection and a joining. But don't Matan Torah, something like Matan Torah. What was on Matan Torah? Shahaya be'elef hashlishi. The giving of the Torah was on the third, in the middle of the 2,000th year. It's called the third millennium. Millennium. The first millennium started, millennium is 1,000 years. The first millennium started when God created the world, up until 1,000 years. Then they began the second millennium. Right? That's when, and the second millennium. Then after that, there was the third millennium. The second millennium was when Avram was born, right near the end. Then there was the third millennium. God gave the Torah in the year 2448. He took the Jews out. 2,448, about 2,500 years after the creation of the world. That's what's called in the third millennium. The number 3. Here we have the number 3. There was another sikha. Do you remember we learned about the number 3? Do you remember that? We learned about the number 3. What's so important about the third month? We said that Nisan is the first month, the second month is Iyar, and the third month is Sivan. The number 3 is so important. Look at 3 things, and we'll come to do an Avera. 3 things. Matan Torah was already in the middle of the third millennium. Asher Mehuta Ulam Morot, even though that there are differences, 2 types, the upper waters and the lower waters. But what happened when God gave the Torah? Something very unusual. The lower waters came up and the upper waters came down. When God gave the Torah, he put the highest of the high down here in the world, and he gave the world a chance to elevate itself to the highest of high, to the Creator himself. Also the same thing with the Jewish people. Even though by the Jewish people there's all sorts of different types of Jews. There are certain Jews. There are certain Jews that they have to be holy. They have to be devoted all the time to learning Torah, to doing the commandments. For instance, like the Kohen Gadol. The Kohen Gadol, Mina Mikdash lo yatzeh. He could never leave his holiness. He always had to maintain a straight state of holiness. He couldn't joke around with people. V'yesh Yehudim, then there's other Jews, that their purpose in the world is levarer, to refine the world, Al Yedei Avodah, by means of Kol Maasecha Yu L'Shem Shamayim. To be in the world, to have a job, to have a family, to have a house, to deal with money, to deal with business, to deal with whatever, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer. And they refine the physical world in the world itself. So there's a division. But there has to be the Kohanim. The Kohanim, they bring the holiness of the Jews, Elyonim, to bring them down. That's the job of the Kohen. The Kohen is to bring the upper worlds down into the physical world. V'ligrom al yedei kach, and to cause by means of this, l'kulam, all of them, et balotcha et hanerot, to elevate the lights. The Jewish people are the lights, and the Kohen's job is to light them up. Atachtonim alul elyonim. And the bottom goes up. The orer behem ahava, to arouse in all the Jewish people, even the mundane working man, a love and a desire to be like a Kohen. Namely what? Totally devoted to Hashem. She'avhem yiyu, that every single Jew will be lefachot, at least at certain times, menutakim milyon olam, separated from matters of the world, and working in Torah, kiyoshvei oil, like a person that always learns. Please open the door, okay? Because I'm starting to think I'm going to fade. There we go. Oh, good. Great. Okay, now we're going to get to Koracht. What did Koracht want? Zion.